Hello friends, this is Sunil and welcome back to my channel IT Junction for All. In this video, I am going to discuss about SQL scenario based interview question and answer part 35. First, the problem statement. Employee table over here is input table and it has 5 columns, namely employee number, birth date, first name, last name and joining date. Now the problems. First problem is, as a convention, the values in the first name and the last name should always be in uppercase. But due to data entry issues, some records may not adhere to this convention. Write a SQL query to find all such records where first name is not in uppercase. So if you will see the column first name, you will see that all the values are not in uppercase. So due to some data entry issue, there are some records which are in lowercase as well. So we have to write a SQL query to find out which all records are not there in uppercase. This is our first problem. So you can see in row number 2 and row number 5, it is coming only the first letter is in uppercase and rest all are in lowercase. So we have to find such records. Now the problem number 2. For some records, the first name column has full name and last name is blank. Write a SQL query to update it correctly. So if you will observe for row number 4 and row number 7, for the column first name, we have full name coming as a first name. Here also Mike Johnson is coming as full name as a first name. So what we have to do? We have to write an SQL update statement which will update it correctly. That Sophia here is a Mike, over here is the first name. It should come only Sophia and Mike, and Trump and Johnson should go in the last name column where currently it is coming as blank. So this is question number 2. Now we'll go to question number 3. So what does this question number 3 says? It says calculate tenure of employees as of 30th June 2017 and prepare following above sample report. So what we have to do, we have to write a SQL query which will give the experience, that is total number of years that employee has as of 30th June 2017 and how many employees belongs to that category. So we have to prepare a report accordingly. So as you can see over here, in less than 1 year we have employee counts 1, and between 1 to 3 years it is 3 likewise. Now for question number 4, the question is list all the employees whose work anniversary is same as their birthday date. So this question is very straightforward. We have to write a SQL query whose work anniversary is same as their birthday date. Now the last question, find the youngest or the minimum age employee with tenure more than 5 years as of 30th June 2017. So we have to get the youngest or the minimum age employee who has experience of more than 5 years as of 30th June 2017. So these are the 5 questions we have to solve. So that's all 5 questions we have. Let's see how we can write in SQL Server. So there are 5 questions and I'm going to solve those 5 questions one by one. So first I'm going to start with the first questions where I have to write SQL query to find all the records where first name is not in uppercase. So before writing, let's see our input table once again. So I'm going to fire this select star from employees. So this is our input table, and now I'm going to write query select star from employee where upper of first name first underscore name is not equal to first name. I think table name is employees. So but if you will try to run this, it will not give it will not give you the correct result, because it is doing a case case insensitive comparison over here. If I make it a if I how to make a case sensitive comparison, for that we have to use a collation. So for that we have to write collate SQL underscore Latin 1 underscore general underscore cp1 underscore cs underscore as. So what does this do? This makes this column as case sensitive, and if I run this now query, it is going to give correct result. So you can see over here, now we have those two records whose first name is coming in and not coming in uppercase letter. Now we'll move to the second problem. What does it say? We have to find for some records the first name column has full name and the last name is blank. Write a SQL query to update it correctly. So for that, first what I'm going to do, first let me see the input table once again. So these are the column values we have to write SQL queries for that. So before writing the update statement, first I'm going to write the SQL query which is going to segregate the first name and the last name. Select star from employees where last underscore name is null or last name is blank is equal to this. So we are able to filter out the records where the last name is blank. So we can say another way where the first name I mean the full name is coming in the first name column. Now our second job is to separate this. We have to segregate this first name and the last name. Now how we can do that? So for that I'm going to use left function and the right function using char index function. So you can also use substring function. So I'm going to use left of first. I'm going to use first name. First name, how many characters we want? For that we will use char index function, char index of space from where in the first name column. So ideally it char index will give the position of this space. So if you consider the first name for row number 1, it will give the position after A. So here after A, but we want till A, so we have to decrease its one position by 1. So I'm going to subtract minus 1. So this will be our first name. So if we run this, so you got the first name. Now we have to get the last name. So for that I'm going to use the right function, and from the right side what we want from first name column, and how many characters we want. For that we have to use len of first name, and then we have to subtract it with the position char index. So simply we can copy this part, okay, and then we have to increment the position by 1 as last name. So we did any mistake over here, last name, okay. So if I run this, so you can see we are able to separate it. Let me do now. Things will be more clear. Now you can see we have first name column Sophia Trump. Now we are able to segregate the first name and the last name. Now since we are able to segregate, now it's easy to write update statement. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to write SQL statement update. What we want to update, this table, and then set first name is equal to this part, comma, and last name is equal to this from employees where last name is null or last name is blank. So if I'm going to run this, it is straight away going to update it. So first we'll see our employees table. You can see row number 4 and 7, it is blank over here. Now after running this update query, it should come over here Trump, here it should remain as Sophia, here it should be Mike, and here it should come as Johnson. So let me run this update statement. So you can see over here 2 rows affected. Let me run the employee table once again. Now you can see row number 2 is coming over here, 7 over here Johnson. So we are able to update the first name and the last name correctly. Now we'll jump to question number 3rd, that is C. Calculate the tenure of employee as of 30th June 2017, and we will have to prepare the sample report as well. So we can solve this problem by using CTE. So we can use CTE over here. So we'll start with clause. Let's give a CTE table name as CT underscore tenure as, and then I'm going to write select star from employees. I'm going to close the bracket, and I'm going to replace this star with employee number comma, and we have to find the tenure, right? So how to find the tenure? If you are going to subtract or if you are going to find the difference between the joining date and the date, that is 30th June 2017, it is going to give the tenure. So we are going to use date diff function, date diff, and what we want in month, so we'll give month, and I'm going to write joining date, comma, and we have to find as of 30th June 2017. So I'll pass this date 2017 06 130. So this okay, sorry, so this is going to give the difference in months. This query, if I run this, now you can see we have got the tenure in months for each employee. Now what we can do, we can divide this this months by 12, and then it will give the tenure in years. But before dividing, let's convert this data to a float value. So for that I'm going to use cast this data into float. So cast this data as float, and then I'm going to divide by 12 and will give alias as tenure. So if I run this subquery, we'll get the tenure in years. Now we have to write query for a reporting part. So I'll give comma here, and then I'm going to give another alias, let's say ct underscore temp, and then I'm going to write as, and after that I'm going to start the bracket and then close the bracket, and this bracket, within this bracket I'm going to write select star from ct underscore tenure table, and after that I'm going to replace this star with employee number, and then I'm going to use case statement. So case when tenure is less than 1, then we have to print what? Less than 1 year. Similarly, so we have to write when tenure is greater than equal to 1 and tenure is less than 3, then we have to print 1 to 3 here. So over here we have to give 1-3 here. Similarly, for the third scenario, we can give as when tenure is greater than equal to 3 and the tenure is less than 5, then it should be 3 to 5 here. Similarly, when tenure is greater than or equal to 5, then it should come as 5 plus year, and then after that we are going to end this case statement and we'll give alias as temporary tenure. Let's see. Now after that, what we can do, we'll select star from this table, this temporary table, that is CTE table, and after that I'm going to replace this star with employee number. No, employee number is not needed, we can ignore that. We can take temporary tenure as we'll give alias what they want in report. They want in report as tenure in years, tenure underscore in underscore years. So this will be 10 years, comma, and after that we have to get the count of a star. For after that, if we want count, we have to group by temp tenure. So now if I run this code, here you go, you got the tenure in years and the number of months, right? So we will give the better name over here, count star. So they want as employee counts. So this employee counts underscore counts. So now if you run this, will look, the result will be look perfect. Sorry, we missed selecting. Okay, so you got it over here. So we have got the tenure in years and the employee counts. Now we will jump to problem number 4, that what does it says, list all the employee whose work anniversary is same as their birthday date. So first we'll see the input table again. Now what it says, we have to write SQL code whose work anniversary is same as their birthday date. So for that, what will happen, their month of the joining date and the birthday date, the month should match and the day should also match. So for that, I'm going to write select star from employees, select star from employees. After that, I'm going to use where clause, where we have to get the date, right? So we'll use date part function, date part, and what we have to extract, date. So dd from where, from birth date. So birth underscore date, and it should be equal to date part of joining date, right? So here we'll replace this with joining date, joining date. And what will be the other joining condition, I mean filter condition? It will be date part of month. Over here we will have to extract the month from the birth date, and this month should be equal to month of the joining date, right? So we'll get the employees whose a date of birth date is equal to the date of the joining date and whose month of birthday is equal to month of the joining date. So if I run this piece of code, it is going to fetch me and those records whose work anniversary is same as that birthday date. You can see over 0207 in birth date, joining date is also 0207, and for this record also 0623. So we are done with this fourth problem. Now the fifth and the last problem. Find the youngest minimum age employee with tenure more than 5 years as of 30th June 2017. First, I'm going to write SQL query to fetch those employee whose tenure is more than 5 years as of 30th June 2017. So select star from employee where date diff, we are going to use date diff function to find the date difference. Date diff, we want first in month, so we'll use month, and we have to give the joining date over here, and we have to pass this date 30th June 2017. So 2007 hyphen 06 hyphen 30. So this will give me the date difference in month, but we want in years. So first what we'll do, we're going to cast this data as float, and then I'm going to divide by 12, and this data should be greater than 5 because it is telling it should be more than 5 years. So we have got all the employees whose tenure is greater than 5. Now we have to find the minimum age employee out of these two. So for that, what we have to do, we have to get the date of birth, right? So the person with maximum date of birth will have the minimum age, right? So I'm going to use this max of birth date as birthday. If I run this, so it will give me the birth date. Now we have to get the age. It is coming birth date. Now we can get the age by selecting date, by selecting star from, let's see, we'll consider this query as subquery and we'll give alias as a, and then I'm going to use date def function over here, date def function, and then we have to get the date difference in here between birth date and as of 2007, 30th June 2017. So I'm going to pass it over here, 2017 hyphen 06 hyphen 30. So this will serve as the minimum age, minimum underscore age. So if I run this code, here you go, you got the minimum age. So this is how we can solve this last problem. So that's all for this video. If you have liked my video, please do like it and subscribe my channel. And if you know any other way you can solve this problem, please do write it in my comment section. Thank you.